Confederate flag USA. The Confederate flag started as a battle standard during the American Civil War, representing the Confederate states who fought to preserve slavery. After the war, it didn't just disappear into museums. Instead, it re-emerged as a cultural and political symbol. By the mid-20th century, it was being waved during segregation protests, white supremacist rallies, and even slapped on merchandise like belt buckles and bumper stickers. Today, some argue its Southern heritage, linked to regional pride, states' rights, and a rebellious streak. But for millions of Americans, it's a banner of racism, hate, and historic trauma. This clash of meaning has sparked fights over whether it belongs on state capitals, license plates, or even video games. In short, it's a flag that divides more than it unites. Nazi flag swastika. The swastika is older than most flags on Earth. Found in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Native American cultures, it symbolized peace, fortune, and spiritual flow for centuries. Then came Adolf Hitler. In the 1920s, he adopted the black hooked cross on a red field, and within a decade it was the icon of the Third Reich. Under this flag, Nazi Germany carried out World War II and the Holocaust, crimes so catastrophic they scarred the world permanently. Now, the flag is outright banned in Germany and other countries, considered hate speech in most contexts, and universally recognized as a symbol of fascism. What's wild is how one of humanity's most positive ancient signs was twisted into one of the most hated symbols in existence. ISIS flag. Black Standard. The ISIS flag, often called the Black Standard, is based on early Islamic banners featuring the Prophet's seal and Shahada Islamic creed. But while its script is sacred to Muslims, ISIS hijacked it as their brand. They plastered it on propaganda videos, vehicles, and battlefields to project power. The result? A flag that doesn't just represent a terror group, but decades of violence, massacres, and extremism. Muslims worldwide reject it as an insult to their faith, but its presence has become shorthand for global terrorism. Like the Nazi flag, it's banned in many countries, and even just printing it can land you in legal trouble. Imperial Japan's Rising Sun flag. This flag shows a red sun with 16 rays stretching outward. Japan sees it as a historic emblem of strength, tradition, and good fortune. It's still used by the Japanese Navy and sometimes in sports, but for many Asian countries, especially Korea and China, it's the ultimate reminder of Japan's dark past. During the early 1900s, this flag flew over armies that carried out invasions, forced labor, and atrocities across Asia. For survivors and their descendants, it feels no different from the swastika, a symbol of occupation and cruelty. Even today, waving it at international sports events can spark outrage, proving that history still breathes through fabric. British colonial flags. The Union Jack and its colonial spin-offs carry double meaning. For some, they stand for centuries of naval power, exploration, and global influence. For others, they're reminders of colonization, stolen lands, slavery, and cultural erasure. In places like Australia, Canada, and former colonies in Africa and the Caribbean, debates continue. Should these colonial-era flags be preserved as heritage or replaced as relics of oppression? Many nations opted for new designs after independence, but others still weave the Union Jack into their national flags. It's a constant tug-of-war between history and modern identity. Modern Russia flag versus Ukrainian flag. On its own, the Russian tricolor of white, blue, and red seems pretty neutral, but in the wake of the 2022 invasion of Ukraine, the flag has shifted in meaning. In many countries, displaying it isn't just seen as patriotism, it's viewed as endorsing war, aggression, and expansionism. The flag has become a political flashpoint, banned from international events like sports competitions. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian blue and yellow flag has become a global emblem of resilience. Around the world, it's painted on murals, projected on monuments, and waved in protests, not just as a national flag, but as a banner of democracy under fire. This clash of symbols shows how fast flags can gain or lose meaning depending on history's turn. South Africa's apartheid flag, 1928 to 1994, blended British, Dutch, and Boer emblems. For white South Africans of the time, it represented a unified country. For black South Africans, it was the symbol of apartheid, legalized segregation, systemic oppression, and state violence. When apartheid fell and Nelson Mandela became president, the flag was replaced with today's rainbow-colored design, meant to represent unity and reconciliation. The old flag, however, remains controversial. In fact, South African courts ruled that displaying it in public can count as hate speech because it doesn't just symbolize history, it reopens wounds of oppression. Taiwan versus China flags. Few flags cause as many diplomatic headaches as Taiwan's. The Taiwanese flag, red with a navy blue canton and white sun, represents the Republic of China, the government that fled to the island after losing the civil war to Mao's communists. Today, Taiwan waves it proudly as a symbol of democracy and independence. But China insists Taiwan is theirs, and they forbid recognition of its flag in most international arenas. Even a small gesture, like displaying it during an Olympic broadcast or on a company website, can lead to fierce backlash from Beijing. For Taiwan, their flag is identity. For China, it's rebellion. For the world, it's a constant balancing act between supporting democracy and keeping trade ties with a superpower.